Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so today I am going to show you guys my process on how I use Easy Pose and Procreate when I do some illustrations this month. I have, if you're on my Instagram, you've seen these images before. This one's missing a little something something, and I'll go ahead and show you after live stream. But I am, for this particular image here, I used Easy Pose, the Easy Pose app. I've got that here now on my iPad, and I've only just started using it, and I freaking love. Hey, Tatted Hearts, love using this program. So I'm going to do a quick replay so you can see how I got to this point, and I'll see if I can throw a little commentary in at the same time. And I hope you guys can see it okay. And I'll just kind of zoom in on some of the parts that are relevant. So this is the Easy Pose that I grabbed, and it's pretty much, I envisioned like two girls riding on an oni. Of course, this program doesn't have expressions, but it has like a bunch of different characters that you can start with, and it's supposed to be a drawing program for anybody who is you just can't find that particular pose. If you're like me, you have a hard time kind of visualizing exactly what you want to do. And what I ended up doing was just kind of getting the basic idea of what I want as I was learning this program. And I'm like, okay, what would be cool? So I thought this would be cool. You've got like a little magic user who is controlling the mind of this character here, a real big behemoth, and they look like they're trying to fly. So these are like basic poses that are in the program, and I just kind of manipulated them a little bit to get the pose that I want. Now, if I was looking for someone actually doing this, like in a photograph, I just couldn't do it. And then even in my mind's eye, it would take me like a long time, a lot of scratching and etchings to get exactly what I want. So this program really helps me flesh out and bring out the idea that's in my head without wasting a lot of time trying to get proportions right, trying to get different things right. Now, as I keep playing with this program, I've learned different ways of getting different proportions in this, and this is like one of the few programs where you can do that. The one that I was using before was Art Pose Pro. You've only got two characters to mess with, and the thing that sold me on this is that you can manipulate the fingers and the toes. I thought that was the bomb. And the eyes, you can even move the eyes around. So I have the character who's controlling the behemoth looking at the other girl, and the girl looking at the other girl, but you can't control expressions. So you do need to use a little bit of your own creativity when it comes to it, but this is a great start. It's already like grayscale. Downside is you can't download them with the skin tone already. If you do, you're stuck with putting their clothes on. They have like some underwear or something like that they have. It's like really generic. Everybody has the same thing basically. But if you keep them in a grayscale, you can export them naked, which makes it easier to add different clothes onto them. Now, my dumb bunnied self, when I was drawing this, and it took me forever to do it, was to come up with the clothes. That's the one thing that holds me back almost each and every time. What does the hair look like? It's like my mind only goes as far as kind of getting the bare minimum of what's on there. I'm like, oh, now I'm done. No, hooker, you're not. So basically, I was just kind of coming up with ideas, and then as I'm fleshing out the clothes and the hair, the story kind of emerges. So it's kind of like why would these two people be riding on this guy? Why is this guy letting them do it? So I was like, okay, well, maybe the magic user is controlling his head. And then I'm like, you don't see very many black people in fantasy, or people in color in fantasy images, especially on Pinterest. Not Pinterest, I'm sorry, Instagram. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna do a few more fantasy pictures. So I've got two women of color, and I've got this one particular girl here, and I'm like, well, let's make her. I don't know. I wanted to get like some African influential images into it, but I was like, you know what would be kind of cool? Everything seems kind of rigid. They look like they're flying. So I decided to go ahead and put like a veil on this one particular. And it just started to color it in. And the technique to color it is not unlike the coloring techniques that I would use anyway. So using these poses like really super help. But you remember what she looked like before, and this is what she looks like now. So this can really just like bump your art to the next level. Any kind of like art program. And Tatted Hearts, is good to see ya. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. But yeah, so I don't know if you recognize this one particular girl here, but she reminds me of one of the characters from Walking Dead. I don't know how to say her last name, but I kind of modeled her a little bit after her. And I'm like, oh yeah, she looks tight. So I had to throw the braids in, and I wasn't sure what color I wanted to do the hair. I mean, all that stuff was like totally secondary to the pose that I had in my head. I had no idea what these girls were going to wear. So using some of the Procreate brushes, this was Triangulum. Triangulum is really great for billowy scarf-like things. Okay, so one of the techniques I wanted to show was that you can use the tools in Procreate to make something look like kind of what you had in your mind. So what I had in my mind was that this was going to be an Oni, a demon. And so I've got the little magic going with the hands, and in order to make the nose wider, let me go back a little bit. Like, see, this is what he looks like there. And so I made his nose wider, added him a mouth, and he was partially there for being an Oni, at least in my opinion. But I wanted to get away from what the drawing program looks like. So I'm just kind of adding my own thing. There we go. And then using the highlighting brushes, the illumination brushes, I got this like shininess to his skin that I just was like to die for. I'm like, yas, queen, yas. So I almost have like a whole bunch of different influences. I've got Japanese. I kind of have the I used the anime characters, but I kind of made it my own. So I have them kind of flying. And then I was like looking at them going, you know, I'm wondering what they're saying to each other. And then I was starting to think, it's like, oh, him? Well, I met him online type of thing. I was about to add that in there. But the one thing I forgot when I was adding this, and I just added some effects where it looks like it's like a blur, motion blur type of thing. I forgot to add his fingernails. I'm like, damn. But so now I gotta add those in a little bit later. But another one that I had done, and then I'll get into let's see, this one I'm working on currently, and this one is going to be what I'm doing for the month. I'm doing a draw this in your own style, and I'll have a separate video for this guy right here. He's still naked, so don't mind him. But some of the more recent ones that I used with Art Pose Pro, or I think, yeah, Art Pose Pro. This one is my favorite here. I've uploaded this one to Instagram, and I'll show you what the initial pose looked like, and I'll kind of zoom right through this. But using the same techniques, I had created a pose and just kind of like moved his legs together so it kind of made like a, brought them together so it kind of be like a tail for a merman. And then I just started painting on this guy. And then I just kind of added his hair, and that's the hair brushes that are here in Procreate. And I had a source image of a really good looking guy. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make him look kind of like that guy. Just a little. And he was like a Maori type of character. And just adding the light effects and the detail just really makes this pop. So you can really just kind of make your ideas come to life. You have like an idea in your head, and then the program just, your skills with the program will just take it from there. And it almost looks like somebody's like in a boat and they just shined a light on him. It's like, oh yeah, dog. Okay, so we got this guy right here. But you saw what his initial pose was. I mean, he went from this to that. Alright, so that's what I'm going to kind of show in this. Same thing with this one. I just kind of made a pose. And this is out of Art Pose Pro. And that's one of the other, you got this lady and you got the other guy, and that's it for this one. But you can, with some of the techniques I'm going to show today, you can manipulate anything on them to make them look like, the way you want them to look. So I'm going to kind of zoom through her and just kind of be mindful of all the things that you've learned from other drawing programs. I'm sorry, not drawing programs, but other videos on YouTube and things like that. They can give you a lot of insight on how to get some really good coloring onto your artwork. One of the fun ones that I liked watching was Hayes Long, and she would do some beautiful women. And I think that's basically all she does, is just beautiful women. But her techniques can also help you in just bringing out the beauty in these images, in your images. And I'm going to see if I can at least get you a jump start along the way. Now, this program was basically for you to trace from. Like you make your pose and then you trace it. This is again that triangulum that gives that gorgeous billowy, almost like, what is it called? Almost like a scarf, like a very thin scarf. Alright. So there we go. And she would have been perfect for Pride Month. God, dandruff. She even looks like she has like a Adam's apple. I'm still transitioning. Okay, so another guy, and let's see, I don't think he's the last, and I'll show you what I've done. This one here came from the what is it called? The Easy Pose, app. And as I was playing with the program, I started learning how to add and manipulate the sizes of different characters. You can't do that in Art Pose Pro that I know of. So this is the original pose, and I had an Easy Pose. I was able to make two little anime girls smaller. They even have horns, hats, things like that in there to add. And I was thinking, well, how about we have like, and this kind of goes with that story I was writing, or trying to develop, that you've got fairies that give you your power. And if you are really good with wielding that power, you can use their power and wield it yourself. So I have a little hot girl, little demon girl, and this program doesn't have expressions, so unless it's already pre-done. So manipulate it to get those expressions. I didn't know what kind of hair to give her, but I thought fire would be appropriate. And then the other character, he started off like this, so you can't manipulate the face, but you can manipulate the eyes. And I thought it'd be cool if both characters were looking at the other girl or the other fairy, and just kind of gave him like braided, dread, whatever hair. Get my little ethnic magic users. Okay, so anyway, that's that one. And that was the ultimate. Let's see, and I think that might be it so far. Now, this is what the program was really made for. Let me see if I can do a time-lapse replay. So this one right here, I was playing with size changes. So I made a little guy hanging off a magic user. And let me do a quick replay. Now this is what the program was made for. You take their image. This is from Easy Pose. And you trace basically what you want to get your, to get your pose, and then from there, you just go ahead and do your own thing. So I figure that this is not a bad program to get my, boost my coloring, not coloring pages. So if I decide to do some coloring pages, if anybody wants to color a demon manipulating a girl, well, I got you covered. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop on into this thing. Oh, we didn't show this one. Again, they have like a whole bunch of different poses, and that's the pose I began with. And again, I kept the legs together to kind of make it easier to make the mermaid tail. And then just from there, I just decided I didn't want her to be the typical anime girl. I wanted to add a little of myself in there, I guess, but still keep that anime look about her. Basically, I gave her nostrils. Basically just kind of like smudged out the legs. And this one here was a draw it in your own style. This is the thing that kind of kicked it off. This is someone's mermaid, and if you're on my Instagram, you'll see the picture that I modeled this one after. Now, this initial pose I was going to use for a mermaid that's kind of looking up and seeing a ship, kind of like how the Little Mermaid at the beginning of her movie, she saw the Prince Eric ship go by. And I was going to do like a shadow of a ship passing overhead, but I'm like, you know what, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. But I came across this draw this in your own style, and I was like, ooh, this would fit this pose just perfect. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take, and the girl's kind of heavy or voluptuous, I guess you could say. So I made this mermaid voluptuous. I gave her a big booty, big chest, kind of made her arms a little bit. Yeah, this is what her body looked like before, and then here's a little bit more voluptuousness. I gave her more of a rounded, curvy face as well, and then just kind of went nuts, went ham on it. There we go. And this is on Instagram if you guys want to see it, the finished product. So, okay, so let's get on to it. This is what the whole shebang is about. Let me get out of this one. And we'll get into this one. We'll have a nice fresh picture. Okay, so, easy pose. When you first open it up, you get this easy pose screen. Let me go ahead and make my screen bigger. There we go. Let this catch up a little bit. Alright, and then go ahead and hit start. And this is the one that I have worked on this morning. Let me go ahead and spin this my direction for myself. Sorry, this keeps making it smaller. There we go. And this is easy pose. And I'll show you the other poses, but basically you can pick, and I created this one this morning. I was like sitting in bed going, what am I going to draw for this tutorial? Or what am I going to stylize for this tutorial? So basically I wanted to draw, let me make this bigger so you guys can see it better. Okay, so with one finger I'm able to move the camera closer and further back, and I can choose what I think would be the best pose for me. Move the camera a little bit more. So basically it was going to be the girl attacking from the front, but it looks kind of, you know, factual, but until I get to close on her. But yeah, let me zoom in. The dragon's holding her at the waist, and he sees somebody he's about to attack, and then the girl on his shoulder sees somebody and she's about to attack. So there's kind of getting it from all ends. And I think I could add another person if I wanted to, but you know, each person that you add is going to take that much longer. Now the clothes that you see on the girl on top are what the characters start off with. I chose Miss Voluptuous here because, you know, reasons, I guess. And then but you can always swap these characters out. So this little button right here with the little gear, you can swap models. So if I wanted to, and these are the different models that I have available to me. And then they added something new, this rival thing. So you can like swap it out with Pirate Chick. Well, I think I just added her, I didn't swap her. Let's see. And I could get rid of her. Okay, deleted the wrong one. But anyway, you have a lot of choices. So we're going to start off fresh, and we're going to go ahead and create. And I've already saved this one. So I've got like a lot of different scenes. Let me load these scenes so you can kind of see. Let's see, and load scene. Okay. What I was working with. So remember this one with the Oni. Let's see. This is the one with I have the demon guy on her shoulder, and I could do it at different angles, which is just awesome. And I like that he's like grabbing her ear, and that's one of the things I love about the program, that you can manipulate the, I'm going to zoom it in so we can see it better. You can manipulate the fingers, where you can't do that so much in Art Pose Pro. You have preset hands, but you can't manipulate each and every little finger. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and let's see, there was a way to clear. We'll do new scene, and it'll reset it to blank. Now this is what you pretty much start off with. We're going to add a model, and the image that I want to do today, the draw this in your own style image, is, let me see if I can find her here. Okay. I gotta wait a second for it to open, and then I'll see if I can match it with one of these characters here. You know what? Why am I recreating the wheel? Let me turn that one off, and I'll just do it from my pad here. We'll move this over here. Oh, this program doesn't want to share. But basically this is what the character we're going to be creating. And she kind of looks anime-ish. And she's got the chiches. So who's got this one? I believe is the most voluptuous. You got, let's see, let's do this one. Okay, we'll move this out the way. All right, now we got to pick her starting pose. And I'm trying to think of how I want her to be seen. We'll start off with this one. Okay, so this is what you get. I'm spinning it around with one finger. And I can just kind of move it any old way I want. Now, one of the ways that I like to create a pose or get an idea of what I want is by just going ahead and tossing them into the different presets. And then from there, I'll change it up. Now, that character, we want to kind of show off her body a bit. Let's see, she was holding a heart in one hand. Let's see if we have any dynamic poses. But one of the ideas I was thinking is maybe she could kind of pose with the heart. I can make the heart bigger. Let's see, and I think that's it with all those. Let's see. And I believe all of these have their own little poses too. Let's see. Let's make her have a love gun. I wonder if it'll... I know that these poses... Let's see. Oh yes! I was hoping that it would come with a gun. And it says include props. Cool. Let's see. How about this one? We've got that pose. Let's try another one. Let's see. A modern weapon. It's like I kind of want her with a... I want her gun to be like... It's going to be like shooting hearts. There we go. Now you can also make things bigger or smaller, but I think this one's going to be kind of cute. We're going to do, let's see, we'll do it from the chest up. Let's see, we'll make, I don't know if I want to make her gun smaller. I almost want to make it bigger. Okay, so we've got her head. We can make her head a little smaller. Yeah, we'll keep it the same size. Ooh, I like that. Let's tilt her head up a little bit. And then you're probably thinking about tilting the gun just a bit so it looks like she's in the sights. There we go. Like I got you in my sights. Let's see. Now I can either... I'm thinking about making her hand... I don't know if I want it to grip this thing or if I want it to be like pointing at us. Let's see. Let's twist her a little bit. We're going to twist her so that she's kind of... Nope, not down. So we'll have her eyes. We'll hit to and you got different hair props as well, but I like to add my own hair. We got all kinds of little hairstyles. One of the cool things I like, let me zoom it out a little bit. The hair moves. Okay, stop playing with the head. Okay, so we got the head, we got the face. When you click on face, you can move the eyes. There we go. Tilt her head back. Oops. There we go. And down a little bit. Alright, so we got that going on. I mean, it's really super easy to pose these guys. It also has a different way of, let's see, settings. I don't like the gizmo so much, but this is another way of like doing quick poses. You click on a certain part here, and you can manipulate it based on which color that you mess with. So like we can move her leg out more. Let me move. And you know what? I think we'll give her heels. And then we'll click on the foot. Let's see. There we go. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to tilt her hips a little bit so it kind of makes her hips jut out a little bit more. Let's see. I'm gonna take the hair off. Let's see. Oops. Oh, here's all the other different props here. We've got hats, horns. I like the horns, but I don't think this character had horns. Got little cat ears. Let's see. Let me take that stupid gizmo off. I mean, it's helpful, but it's like, it gets in the way. Let me turn it off. And I had it at the smallest level that it could be at. Okay. We want to definitely show her assets. So we'll kind of do it hiding one eye. Oh, let's change the girl too. I don't like her hair. I mean, I like her hair, but I for what I need to do, I just can't use her hair. Let's see. There we go. And then I want to change the girl to someone else. I mean, she looks cute. I guess I could use her. Yeah, I guess we can use her. Let's see what the other characters look like. We'll swap model with superhero. Oops, I gotta zoom out. Nah, it's not the same. Let's see. Can I go back? Let's see. Presets. Modern weapon. Ooh. That's a cute pose too. Be my love gun. And I can have it like kind of dribbling hearts. Let's see. What else we have? Oh yeah, it's on the hip. Let's see. I could put her. Let's see. See if I can move everybody together here. We move it at the shoulder. Let's see, and I want to make those hips. Now, moving the hips moves the entire body. So you're gonna have to like, oops. This is when that gizmo comes in handy. And we'll just kind of bend this leg. And we'll tilt her the other way. Oop. Maybe I needed it the opposite way. Yeah, I think it should have went the other way. Okay, let's do it the other way. I wish there was a way to like make it do like the opposite. Okay, so let's see. We want to rotate it. Oh, I don't mind that. We see, we reset the model. Okay. We'll just have the legs go the opposite way. To make her jut out a little bit. Let's see, we'll put the weight on this leg. Oops. Still need to make the thing jut out a little bit more. Let's see. See, I want her hips to really jut out. Okay. There we go, and we'll raise this up. Here we go. I'm your commando of love, baby. Yeah, and this was a what is it called? Valentine's. Let's see if we can bring this down a little bit. There we go. Got our love gun. Alright, so let's manipulate these fingers. Now, Art Pose Pro has preset hands like this. But with this program, I can take it a step further. Let's see. Move this hand a little bit. Okay, looks like the gun is attached to the hand, so I'll just leave it the way it is. I was going to move it up a little bit. Let's move the fingers. Since I keep bragging about the fingers. Huh? It's all about the fingers, huh, Kim? Huh? Okay, so go to Finger Editor. And I think I want to take the index finger and just kind of move it up a little bit. There we go. And let's see, the middle finger, we'll move that up too. There we go. Tilt her head down a little bit. We'll close that, close that. And then rotate it. Let's see. Just trying to find the best pose or best view. Let me zoom in a little bit because we're probably just going to, I'm going to put her on the ground here. Let's see. And this, if I bend her leg a little bit, let's see. Oops. That's not bad either. Let's see. Kind of have her be and looking down at us. Let's see, we got the face. Let's see, we'll zoom in. And we'll get this kind of perspective here. Let's see if I can rotate the head. Kind of like that dominatrix type of thing. Let's see, just enough, like right here. Didn't want it too extreme. So about like right there. Let's do something with this hand. Let's see, we've got ooh. Let's see. It's like you won't be needing this heart anymore. Let's see. Now what I can do is kind of have it like she could be looking over her shoulder going, who's next, or something like that. So she's not looking at us, she's looking off the screen. But I kind of like that she's looking at us. Okay, so we got that. Let's see if we can get this to come forward. And spin that hand a little bit. It's like you won't be needing this anymore. So we could also put that. Yeah, let's see. We'll have it like, we'll put the heart like on her leg here. We'll move this one back. Let's see. I want her hips to be a little bit more voluptuous. In this program, I can't update that, so I'll have to do that like in Procreate. But yeah, so I'm gonna have her with the heart right here. Let's see, how about we move the leg? Let's see. And I'm just kind of, let me bring this down here. So the heart will be like in this hand right here. We'll bring this in. So like before you manipulate it, you can just hover over it or hold it, and you can see which way the circle is going to turn. Okay, so like this leg here, I'm going to make that move forward. So if I just hold it down, that way you don't have to have that stupid gizmo. Let's see, I'm going to bring this up here, and then I'm going to bend this. I'm going to manipulate the foot, and I'm going to push that instep like this. I need to move that leg. There we go. Let's zoom out a little bit. I think I got my pose. If we even decide to go full body here. Let's see if we can tilt it just a bit. Let's kind of get that craziness going. We'll tilt her head a little. Just a little more. And then tilt it to the left. There we go. Let's see. I was going to put her... Let's see. I'm trying to imagine, do I want the heart right here in her hand or on her hip? Maybe on the hip. Let's try. I like how the shoulder is. Okay, looking at her, this is the pose that I'm thinking of. Let's see. I'm going to tilt her a little bit. Just a little more. And we'll tilt that hand so you can definitely see her heart being ripped out. Or her getting her heart back. Oops. See, I want to rotate it. Tilt it away from us. All right. Not so sure I like that hand. Let's see. There we go. We'll just kind of have it dripping. Just moving the leg a little bit. Give it a little bit more feminine curve here. Let's see if we can rotate. There we go. And we'll rotate this one. This way, and we'll mess with that instep again, like she's wearing heels. Let's make them higher. Let's see, raise. Oops. It doesn't look like I'm able to mess with the the heel portion. Let's see, but I can do that. Just rotate it some more and mess with the instep a little bit. There we go. We should put her in like pink camouflage or something like that. Okay. It's like, let's see, what should I do with that hand? It just doesn't look. I want to be able to get the heels. There's the heels. If I do it this way, we won't really see the heels too much. I want to get all of the gun in the picture. I wonder if I bring this out. Oh yeah, mine. Alright, I like it. Oh, I like it. Okay, so and this is, let me see if I can get. The only other way that I could think that would be cute was that she'd look over her shoulder. Okay, I'm good. Alright, so let's go ahead and export this. You hit the little corner eye, and to get like a somewhat transparent background, you hit this one right here with the little cross-hatching whatnot thing. Okay, that's been saved. And then also, I'm going to save my scene, so if I want to change it, I can. And we'll just add it here and then save scene. And then some of these I can go ahead and delete if I want to. Let me see if it'll let me. Or I'll probably just save over it. Okay, so we're good with that. We've got it exported. Let's hop on into Procreate. Make sure we're still live. Yep, we're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this on into our thingy. We hit the add button, insert a photo, because it goes into your photo gallery. And just go ahead and tap it. Now you've got part of the background still on this chick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag her to the edges here instead of like erasing everything right off the bat. And what it does is it cuts off some of that excess. Just get it as close as I can. If I change the background color, you might see what I'm looking at. And you can barely see it. Let's see. I'm going to lock this so I don't mess it up. And I'm going to change the background color to something not as obnoxious as white. We'll bring it down to... And you see that square around her? That's what I'm trying to get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a bit. I don't want to get rid of my gun. Let's see, if I tilt it a little bit, I might be able to get the edge. I'm going to try to get as much as I can off of it without having to... Okay. There we go. Bring her back up and then fit the screen. Make it a little bigger. Okay. Now, in order to get rid of... Let's see. Hold up. I'm going to tilt her a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Alright, so we got that going on. I want to bend her a little bit more, but we can do that in the program here. Okay, so I want to get rid of that area that's around her. So what I'm going to do, I wonder if I turn off the background, will we be able to see it? Yes. Okay. So with the background off, and I'm going to hit select, and the color fill in the freehand mode with the selection, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick selection around her and get rid of that crap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mask, and the mask will let you either be black to erase or white to you know, put it back, or maybe that's vice versa. Anyway, and with the fill, it'll just fill it in, so it'll start to create our mask for us. Otherwise, you can take your eraser tool and, you know, erase it that way, but I find this is a little bit faster. Oops, yeah. Let me make my selection. And if I make a mistake with when you have a mask, if you make a mistake, you can always go back. You go back. Okay, so I'm gonna get around where it's kind of jaggedy, and then if it's still not smooth enough, okay, so that filled that part. I'll hit add, move to the next one. And I'm getting the inside first because it's like a pain in the butt to get. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but it's disappearing ever so slowly. I don't know why I'm even bothering around the hand, because I'm going to put the heart in the hand. Ooh, we could have her stepping on the hand, on the heart. Oh, was this yours? Okay, so let me try to step it up a little bit, because ain't nobody got time for like a 15-hour video. So basically what I did is created the image, brought it into Procreate, and now I'm just going to clean it up, because when you bring it over into Procreate, it's not clean, and it always has a background on it. I can't remember if the Pro one had. And the Pro, when I keep saying Pro, the Art Pose Pro, that is the version of Art Pose that has both men and women, or male and female model. But you know, I don't think that this particular, this isn't like Photoshop where you can, you know, just kind of do a blanket selection. If I do like the automatic selection tool, it will select everything, anything that has pixels on it, and the background has pixels, so it's like I can't quite use that tool. Not like in Photoshop where you can select the tolerance level. I'm doing a little bit at a time here. You don't have to be perfect with it, because as you add color and whatnot, you'll naturally get rid of all this stuff anyway. All the stuff that you don't need. Okay, so you just make your selection, hit add, and just keep moving. I think we should give her like high-heeled combat boots. That'd be cute. But unfortunately, we can't see the heel. Maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger, make the heel a little bit bigger. Yeah, at this angle you can't see the heel portion. I could make them kind of like platform maybe. Okay, so I think I got the whole thing. And then I'll just go ahead and combine it together and it disappears. Now, I still have some of the aliased area around. If you feel like doing the cleanup, what I basically do is I take the soft brush and the smudge tool, and I just go around it and just kind of soften it around the edges. And just take a little moment to do that. Or if you're going to do what I'm going to do and kind of make her a little bit more muscular, you don't have to do this portion, because if you know you're going to manipulate it anyway, you don't really have to do this, but it just kind of softens it and cleans it up just a little, makes it a little smoother. Just kind of have it at a small level, and it's just kind of softening up the edges. I'm not really worried about the feet because I'm going to cover that up with shoes. Alright, now one of the things I want to do is I want to make her a little bit more voluptuous, or curvaceous. So I'm going to go around and with the liquify tool, and I'm going to use push, and I'm going to make her hips just a little bit wider. One thing that I can do, instead of doing it like right here, okay, so we have our image here. I'm going to take the selection tool, and I'm just going to select her hips, her hip area. I don't even have to do this much. And then I'm going to copy and paste it, so it's sitting above that level. That way I'm not manipulating any of the other pixels around that I don't want to accidentally mess with. And then when I'm done, I'm going to merge the layers. So I just wanted to pop that hip out a little. Whoops, let me reset. I just want to pop it out just a little more, make her a little bit more hippie. Just, whoops, don't want to mess with that. Let me reset one more time. I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller. And we'll try again. I just want to make this, I want her so hip you can't see over her pelvis. That's how hip she's going to be. Now you'll notice that the program itself is like really super stiff looking. This is like a using the push will help you get you beyond that. We'll give her the flat waist, and like even some of these curves here, like where her crotch is, I can bring that up a little bit so we can make her legs look even longer. So let's see, and that's one of the tricks that they do in comic books. If you want to make a character's legs look longer, you raise their crotch. Just raise it just a bit, and it gives her like a couple more inches or whatnot. Okay, also let's see, and see, it's kind of like distorted in color. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and merge this, merge it back down, merge, okay, by pinching it together. I'm going to use the smudge tool, and I'm just going to kind of smudge the shadows in. She won't be naked for long, so, and just kind of smooth. And I see some stuff here that didn't go away with my selection, but that's okay. We shall take care of that. I don't see anything else. Let's turn our background color back on. Let's see, and we can change it to like maybe more of a darker gray until we figure out what we want to do to the background. And then we could see if there's anything left behind. Nope. Okay, so we're a little bit more hippie. I think I want to make her boobs just a little bit higher up. we give her a better bra, I guess. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and select, and this is how I did the Oni, making the nose bigger and smaller. You can either take one boob at a time, or you can do them both at once. And I'm just taking some of the area around it too, and then I'm just going to copy and paste it, so now it's on its own layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the liquify tool again, and I'm going to we're going to fluff them up a bit, kind of flatten them a bit so they're not so, oh, and then kind of raise them a bit too. Yeah, we had a little bit of work done. No judgment, no judgment. There we go. We'll go just a little bigger. But we'll kind of make them flatten just a smidge. So we got weight behind this. We can break cans with this thing. Okay, and then there we go. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got that going on. Let's see. Now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead and smudge a little bit, and then we'll bring it down. You can add your nipply bits if you want, but you can also do that a little bit later. Alright, now I don't know, I think what I'll do is I'll bring up the other character, let's see, that we're modeling it after. So this one will at least share the screen. Okay, so that's the princess we're working with. Oops, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get her skin tone. Another pink-haired chick, right? Okay. Alright. She's got some very big lips, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so next thing, let's go ahead and let's see. She's got bigger thighs too. Let's play with those thighs too. With not, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take the whole thing. Okay, and then we'll, I believe that was the one. There we go. I'm not on the right layer, and I didn't merge. Okay, so merge. Okay. It was telling me that my, let's see, was empty. Okay, so now we got them selected, and they are on their own layer, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just kind of fluff them up a bit with the liquify tool, and just kind of make them a little bigger. Whoops. We'll make the size a little bigger so it affects more. There we go. Definitely going to get that hourglass. Don't want to distort it to where the shape is gone. There we go. That's not too bad. We'll make her like chicken legs, where it's big on top like a drumstick. And then we'll merge these together, and then we'll blend. You know, just kind of soften it that way. And then from the color portion, I go to where it's kind of doing an aberration. So like right here, I'm going to work from the hip here, and I'm going to drag downwards. And then I'll go back and forth so that it kind of obliterates and merges together. And I'll make this a little bigger. and just kind of smudge it together, bring it down a little bit, and then get our little edges here. Got a little cellulite, that's cool, that's cool. Don't have to be perfect. There we go. Totally optional, totally optional. And just any place where it hangs out a little bit, we'll just kind of bring it in. Alright, I'm just sharing some of the color. Okay. Alright, so we got a little bit of that going on. She's got thin arms. Let's see. Not a bad start. Okay, let's go ahead and get her brown skin tone in here. What I usually like to do is, or what I started doing, to fill it in fast, I'm going to duplicate the layer, and then I'm going to find the color tone that's like her mid-tone, and that looks like it's like a yellowish tone in here. If you have to, you can always bring it in and, you know, direct sample, but I kind of like to eyeball it a little bit to get as close as I can. So I'm thinking it'll be about there. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to be using 3 different colors. I'm going to be using this one here, and then a color above it, and a color behind it, or below it, you know, so I can get the gradient tones that this person has achieved. Okay. So that's what I'm going to fill this in with. And what I'm going to do is, because I've got the freehand with the color fill selected, that little paint bucket, I'm going to go back to layer and hit select, and it should fill it in with that base tone there. You can always change it. Let's see. I think that's about really super close. Unfortunately, it gets the gun too, but we're not worried about that. I can always take that out. Let's see. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at this. Now, there's a couple different ways of getting that color onto this color. You can, oh, color dodge is nice if you want a yellow girl. You've got different choices. I'm going to do the multiply, and multiply kind of looks like this. If I do, or I could do it the opposite way. Let me put this back on normal, and then move this one above and make that the multiply. Either way, you can achieve the same thing. Let's see. If you don't want it that vibrant, we can drop the opacity a bit. So she's kind of like an off brown type of thing, but where's the fun in that? I kind of like the bright colors, and she's kind of bright there. All right. She is a kind of like a mustardy tone. Let's see, and then we'll add our tones on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these together. So now she's permanently that color, and unfortunately so is the gun. So instead of doing that, let's see, I'm going to erase the gun on this particular one. Let's see, so I'm on that layer. I could do a mask. Let's do it. Yeah, that way if I make a mistake, it's not gone forever. Like if I do the fingers or something like that. So, got the soft brush again. And I can just go ahead and select. And the fill is still selected. And I can hit add, and that just takes it away. That's what the black is doing. If you ever forget what it does, the mask starts off as white, and if you add black to it, it'll make it go away. To make it come back, you'll just go ahead and hold down the black here, switch it back to white, and it'll undo it like that. Okay, so let's go back to black. There we go. And you could just hold it down and it'll change back. Alright, so let's go ahead and just select. We don't want to deselect her skin or lose her skin tone here. Hit add. And because there's a lot of straight areas, I can do this and it'll get it straight, but it doesn't look perfect, so I'll just kind of guide it a little bit so you don't have to drag your pencil thing, the eye pencil, all the way around. There we go, and that'll help us get a straight edge on some of this stuff too. You can just go like this and come back down. Oops. Alright, if you ever lose your selection, just hold down the S again and it'll bring your selection stuff back up. So hit add and just go ahead and keep pushing. Watch that paw. And add. Okay. Almost there. There we go. And even if the gun was colored, it's not the end of the world. We just do the same thing. We make a mask or another layer, or we can even just make a selection of it. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, so we got that going on. Probably put a sling on her too. Let's see, we still have the mask selected. So any place where we don't want that brown to show, we can always take care of that. So long as we have the mask. Okay. Oh yeah. We got this right here. Alright. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. So I'm going to go ahead and merge that together. And then we can bring these guys together. And look at how lovely we are. Okay. So now that we've got that one single color, I think I want to change it. Okay, no, I don't. This is a nice bass tone. We're going to go ahead and work on the shadows. Or actually, since we don't have a lot of time, let's go ahead and hop on that face and the hair. Get that in there. Hair takes the longest. Okay, so in case we run out of time, at least let me get you guys to the basics here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make another layer. We're going to start on the eyes. Now you have a choice. You can either paint them, you know, straight on, you know, like another layer. You can do this sort of thing. You know, by hand, or you can make a selection. Now if you still want to see the eye beneath, you can drop the opacity and you still can see the eye underneath. Or if you like how the eyes kind of look, then we'll just paint around it. One of the best practices, I think, is to start with the eyeball itself first and then make another layer and do the eye around it. That way you have everything from, you like work from the inside to the outside, if that makes sense. So let's do it that way. What color are our eyes here? Ooh, we've got like pink. Is it red or pink? One looks pink, one looks kind of reddish. Or is that just a trick of the light? Like, that one looks red, this one looks pink. Yeah, let's give her red eyes, why not? That passion. Okay, so instead of manipulating the layer itself, let's go ahead and manipulate the brush itself. You'll see that I'll be using mostly the soft brush. And let's go ahead and pick a pink. Let's see, here's pink. Let's see. We'll do like a diffuse pink here. We'll do it like right here. No reason, oh, here we go. Let me go back. Let me bring this down here. That way it's kind of like transparent. You still see, make sure I'm on a different layer. Yep. Okay. And we can still see the iris here. It's outlined in black, but instead of using black, let me go back to that pink. We'll use like a deep dark purple. And you guys can choose whatever colors that you want. But since I'm doing a draw this in your own style type of deal, I'm kind of using their colors. And then just adding a little bit of my own stuff in there. Instead, again, using the purple, I'm going to use like a deeper, darker purple, or maybe even right here. And if you need it to get darker, you can just kind of select it and hit add. If you use the soft brush, you'll get a soft tone. There we go, and this gives it more of a solid tone. We can come back over here, and we can do the same thing, or you can just cut and paste. This. Since that color's already selected, and then be sure to deselect, or else it will sorry about that. Be sure to deselect, or else it'll change your selection. It's like, oh, you wanna be fancy and do this one too? Cool, I got your back. Alright. Almost messed that up. Okay. Let me make that. Alright, and then I'm going to grab this color and just kind of throw that in there. So she's looking at us all crazy and junk. Now, I was watching the Kinkle show, and he says, I don't like how he colors on the whole. I don't know, his colors just seem so dull to me compared to the colors that I use. But he gives good advice. So, again, like with every video that you watch, just take your own, because it's all about your style. It's like you get the basics, and then you just kind of do your own thing. I'm going to put the whites of the eyes on a different layer here. Okay, so got the whites here. Okay, so what he was saying is, think of the eye kind of like a satellite dish, like you would have on your house, how it's kind of got like this bowl shape. And some things will get colors, some will get shadows depending on how the light is hitting it. So looking at her, the light is hitting downwards, so our little satellite dish of eyes will get shadows like kind of like right here. And then it'll kind of lighten up coming downwards. A really good video to watch, or some videos to watch, is Dave Reed. He does some really good eyes on his animals. So I got that going on there. And then on another layer, right above our layer here, I'm going to put the whites of the eyes. Now, the eyes aren't perfectly white, so let's see. I want to make it kind of like a gray tone. Maybe a pink gray tone, because pink is going to be like our dominant color. Like about maybe here. And I'm just going to go through here, because I don't want the whites of my eyes to be as bright as my highlights that I just put on there. And if you can, try to remember that your eyes are a eyeball. And so same thing applies when light is hitting a ball. Kind of assume that the eyelashes and the lids of the eye are going to be casting a shadow. Sorry, kind of taking it very carefully. And I'm just kind of doing it by hand here. Now what I might end up doing is taking like a real person and using their fingers. Okay, now the cool thing of doing up and applying these colors is that you want to keep your brush down in this mid-range right here. This is about like 43, 44. And what that does is it allows you to control your color a lot. So right here we've got like a mid-range, but if I keep tapping it, it gets darker or more saturated. Whereas when I was just going over it with like one stroke, it's like really transparent. But if you really just keep tapping it and adding your stroke, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. There we go. My biggest gripe with anime is that a lot of anime eyes and stuff, they all like really look alike. And I guess that might be by design, but what I like to do is just kind of add my own stuff to it. Make it anime, but not quite anime. So how this character is drawn with the nostrils and the big lips, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, my eyes, let's see, let's go ahead and try to emulate what we've got going on here, with what this person did with their eyes. I'm going to merge all these guys together. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and use black. And you see how they have like, it's fat, then it's thin, it's fat, then it's thin, fat, then thin? I'm going to do that same thing, but I'm going to use the fine hairbrush. And I'm going to go ahead and do the base part of it first to kind of shape the eye. And it looks like the eyes kind of like come up at an angle. So we'll do like that anime thing where you have the anime characters that have the eyes that come up a little bit more. Bring it up a little bit higher. And then just kind of add the thick layer of lash here. And we're gonna get big with this. We got that, we have the thin, and we'll have the fat. And it kind of tapers, so make sure it's on its own layer. Let me back it up. I want it on its own layer, that way I can manipulate it without messing up the pixels beneath it. And what I'm doing here is basically what I'm going to be doing throughout the entire piece, is just kind of adding my own thing to it while trying to keep with the model. It has to at least be recognizable as their character. That's part of the trick. So on a different layer, I'm going to go ahead and add that thick eyelash. Now, if you know you're going to be adding a lot of stuff in a picture, work on different layers. That way, if you need to add something beneath it or behind it, it'll be easier to do. And then when you're done, you have the choice, depending on how many layers you can possibly work with. You can either merge it together, or you know, leave them on their own layer. Okay, so now what I did here is basically made some curved shapes like this, and for it to look a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic, but yeah, realistic, for a better word, lack of a better word, have it go a little bit into the whites of the eye, just a little bit, so it looks like it's bending from the whites of the eye. And then same thing, same shape but curved like that. And we're going to have just a little bit here, because it's tilted upwards. We're not going to see all of the lid, because you got to still think in terms of 3D. And I think we can go a little bit deeper here, or thicker. Think you can handle it. Make sure you do thick to thin. Shoot, what time is it? Okay, I got time. Now, another thing that I like doing inside the eyes is using the same brush. This is the fine hair brush. It can be found in the touch-ups area here. I like taking this brush and using it to make the eyes, if I have enough room for it. Oops. Do it on a different layer. That way if you mess it up. Let's see. Pink is our color. But I'm going to use like a different color. If you have Procreate, in the harmony, you can find colors that are like complementary or similar to what you've got. So like for this color here, these would be the, these will be the colors that are complementary to this color. So I'm going to use a little bit of this green color and see what that looks like. I'm going to bring this brush down a little bit and just kind of use it in the eye. And what it'll do is it should make this color, the pink color, pop out a little bit more. Whenever you use the complementary of that particular color, it makes both colors pop out. So we kind of got that action going. And then if I take another color in here, I can use like maybe this blue here. Or maybe I should have used that one instead of the green. But it complements. If you use a color that's closest to it, let's see, this is tetratic, so it's like 4 colors that will look great together. And we also have complementary, so these 2 colors will make each other like brighter. So I'll just toss that on top. Alright, now we got to do the other eye, or else it'll look kind of like Clockwork Orange or something like that. So I have a choice. I can either duplicate it, or I think I'll duplicate it. Let's do that. Let's see, best way to do it. Let's see, we'll duplicate since it's on a different layer. And we'll just bring it over. And then we'll flip it horizontal. And just kind of fit it on in there. Put it about like right there and distort it just a little bit. Or just take what we want and then throw the rest away. There we go. That's kind of close. Let's see, since it's on its own layer, I can erase what I don't need. And then just add more. But I gotta keep it kind of light because the eyes right here don't look like that. So I'm just gonna kind of diffuse it a little bit. There we go. But that's another little thing to help with the rods and the cones in the eyes if you're interested in making stuff like that in there. It just adds a little bit of something that a lot of anime pictures don't have, or if they do, it's really fanciful. Okay, I'm gonna merge. Oops, before I do that, let me take this eye, duplicate that, flip that horizontal, use the select, no, sorry, use the arrow, flip it horizontal, and let's bring it on over, just to save us some time. Zoom out a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. That's not too bad. That's pretty gosh darn close. Okay, I'm gonna make the iris of the eye here. I'm gonna merge everybody together and bring that all together. I'm gonna move this purple bit. Usually this part here in the eye is dark, but anime likes to play. Let me go ahead and switch my brush. Yeah, some of the things that I learned from working on a webcomic, my webcomic, Nocturnal Emissions, was that you want to move your brushes, well, not just Nocturnal, the what's the other one I was working on? A Helping Hand. You want to move your brushes into an area, or duplicate them into an area that's really quick and easy to access. That way, when you have to use them, you're not scrolling through all the different selections to get to them. Okay, so now she's looking down on us like, you won't be needing that heart, will you? Okay, so we got that going on. Let's get those lips in there. We got time to do that. Let's see if we can speed it up a bit, because the hair is going to take a bit too. Let's see, lips. Our lips look like they're really red, so let's go for the red. Let's get out of this part, go back to disc, and we'll move over to the red just a smidge, but we'll stay about right there. That's the mid-tone, I think. Okay, so should we do the tongue? I think we should do the tongue. Let's do the tongue. Okay. Let's see. Now, the selection brush, let me make this on another layer. The selection brush is not as jagged as it used to be, from what I hear. So it's not a bad idea to use it. Let's see. We have a choice. Okay, hold up. Let me show you some choices here. Okay, before I add color to this, one of the things that you can do to manipulate the face, like I said, so you get back on this layer, you can liquefy, and if we want, we can make the chin just a little bit pointier, the jaw and stuff like that come down just a little bit more. So we can either select it, that way we don't mess with all the other pixels around it. We'll put it on its own layer, and if we change our minds and decide we don't want to do it, no harm, no foul, just get rid of the layer. Go ahead and hit liquefy, and since we're on our own layer, liquefy, and we'll bring it down. Oops, change the size. Now I'm going to move the cheeks out just a little more. Actually, let me see. Let me deselect so I can go outside my selection. There we go. But still be on the same layer. Whoop. Liquefy. Make it a little bit bigger. So we'll bring the cheeks out a little bit more. We'll point the chin a little bit more. Just kind of a little different from what we've got. Let's see. And I'll break this down a little bit and just mess with these pencils here. But if you have somebody that you want to add like a crazy smile to and stuff like that, this is one of the ways to do it. If you need to make it bigger, smaller. Okay. And then just go ahead and you can smudge out or smudge inwards before you merge it. That way we can make sure that we don't mess with the eyelashes. There we go. Oops. And then we can take out some of this here. And all we do is just like basically move her jaw just a little bit. Okay. Let's see. I think that's all right. Okay, so we gave ourselves a little bit more room to play. Let's see, and if I turn this layer off, you can see what it looked like before. So that's before, and this is after. Before, after, before, after. Let's see. See, that's before, after. Okay. I think I'll keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and merge these together. Okay, let's do those lips. Now you want to go ahead and start with Depends on what we want to do. We can move her mouth here. Excuse me. We can liquefy. We make it kind of small so it just affects the mouth, and you can move that mouth around. So if you need a bigger smile, you want to make her like into the Joker, you can go like nuts, and you can push that her. I mean, you can just like really distort the crap out of this. So don't fret if you can't get that expression that you want from, from the model itself. Let's see. Okay, I got distracted. I'm going to do the mouth open a little bit like that, and we'll just kind of fill it. And we'll just kind of do the same thing. We'll give her a nice full lips. And then we'll throw a little bit of pink in the tongue. Oops. This is what happens when you have a selection. Okay. There we go. And deselect. And instead of it going like straight up, I think we'll have her tongue come to the side here. I need to hurry up. Let's see. We can kind of do this sort of thing. Oh, I'm out of time. Shoot. Okay. We'll do a little bit more. And then we'll pick it up again tomorrow. And I'll show you how to do the hair. Okay. So with the lips the way they are, they're not on their own layer. God, dandruff. Okay. On its own layer, we'll merge that back down. I believe that was what we had before. Yep. Shoot, I don't have time. Okay, so far we got this going on. Now, I guess this part will at least show the color. Let's go ahead and do the color real quick. And then we'll do the lips and stuff like that tomorrow. You can always do, let's see, I'm going to get her coloring here. So, at least when you get to this point, you can at least do the coloring. And it's almost the same with the rest of it too. She's got really super big ears. Oh my god. That's going to be fun. Same thing with manipulating the face. You can manipulate those ears. Let me do that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and throw some color on. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's do the color first. But yeah, use your liquefy tool. You can always cut it, put it on its own layer. But since we've got liquefy going, we can go ahead and select. We don't want to select, we want to liquefy. And we want to be on its layer. You didn't have anything to liquefy. And you can make them bigger. Like that. And we can go even bigger. But I think her hair is going to cover a lot of it. Okay. Now to do the secondary color on here, we had already done the base tone. I gotta zoom out. But it's manipulating the figure. Okay, here we go. Woof. One time I messed up and all I ended up with was a head. And I'm like, no. Okay. The secondary color, let's see, we can select this color here. And then we can go redder. And we can grab one of these colors here. And try to get as close as we can to whatever gradient that they've got going on here. So like a darker reddish brown. We can't go wrong with, I don't think. So with the character selected right here, one of the things we can do is we can create a clipping mask right here. The clipping mask won't let you go outside any pixels that are, you know, that it's beneath it. So, like, I want to go around it. And remember to stay in this mid-range here. And just go ahead and add that color. Same thing with a rim light. We can throw, let's throw like a pink rim light in there. We'll throw that in there. And we'll stay down below there. And so we've got like this pink rim light going around her body from above. And we can always, like, because it's on its own layer, we can tame it if we need to by erasing a little bit of it. You know, her ears should be affected because they should be, you know, so it's like you're coloring, there we go. So we have like the pink rim light around her here. And we'll just kind of have it just around. And then we can just kind of erase it a little bit. And if you need to, you can do both colors on different layers. Or you can do them both on the same layer. But make sure you stay in this mid-range here. That's how you can control it. And if you need to go darker or lighter, if you need to go darker, you raise it up. If you need to be light, I mean like super light, you just bring it down. The mid-range here is a great start. I'm going to bring this down a little bit and kind of get her inner thigh. So that anything that's going to pop out at us is going to have like a brighter tone. Anything that's going to be like in shadow is going to be darker. But it'll also come back into light. So like to make her boobs really like pop out, we'll do like a, you know, like how we do those little balls, like we have like a little light wherever the light's hitting it, we'll put it like right here. For it's a terrible placement, but you can do the darkest part. So imagine you're here up at the light, and as you move from the light where her nipplage is, you can, it'll start to get darker and darker till it gets to its darkest point right here, and then it'll start to lighten up again. And it's usually this dark point here is usually opposite where the light is hitting it the hardest. So use that as to your advantage, and then it starts to lighten up as you know, as light does. So that's one way to make her really just stand out. It would be like a little bit of a light here, and wherever the light is, there'll be an opposite shadow. So like right there. And then just blend it. She's going to be wearing this this bra here, so that won't last. There we go. Not as obnoxious looking. Okay. Same thing on this side. If the light is coming down on the boob, I don't want to use white, but let's see, we'll use a lighter version of this yellow color. We'll just kind of bring it up this way. And we're still like in the mid-range here, so it's not going to come out like super bright. And the more you tap, the more bright it'll get. Now, if you're going to like add a little bit of, the other highlight where it starts to lighten up, you don't want it as bright as this. So if this is going to get the most amount of light, like right here, this light down here should not be as bright as that. So just a little bit of light. But it'll also get some shadow too. And the shadow is always opposite that tone. So we'll sample that color there on that boob. There we go. And we'll kind of keep it warm. And then we'll just go ahead and blend a little bit, very gently. Now, if you find that when you smudge, it's just too much, it's overwhelming, bring your brush opacity down, and it'll make your brush softer. So if you have a heavy hand, and you find that you're putting like just way too much pressure on, let's see, I want the light to be like about, that light's too big. Maybe about like right here. Put it about like right here and soften it up. And with just like a corresponding light, we'll take that white again and drop it like way low and just kind of add it right beneath where the shadow is. And because it has, this is light, just like the light up here, it's light down here. This part is in shadow, and it's the opposite of this light. Same thing with the shoulders. We'll bring it up a little bit. If your light is here, oh, let me do this, put it on another layer. I think my thing is about to crash because it's not giving me anything. Okay. Yeah, my thing is about to crash. Okay, so this is a good stopping point. We're still naked. But this is only part one. We'll go ahead and do hair and lips and all the other detail. But this is how you can get to that body tone from where we were. So let me do a quick replay. Alright, so we brought our girl in, cleaned her up around the edges, and this is the original picture of her. We fluffed up her her legs and her boobs just a bit. We just kind of fluffed her up a bit, and then we created a multiply layer with the color, merged that together with our gray, and with that being kind of transparent and whatnot, we were still able to keep the details. We worked on our face here, and we kind of duplicated our eyes so that we can just kind of fuzz, go past this pretty fast, because pretty much the same shape in at this juncture here. Okay, there we go. And I accidentally put the lips on the wrong layer, so we'll put it on the right layer next time. And then we just kind of do some light behind it. So we'll add more highlights, give her muscles. We'll give her underwear and her hair, and I love these goggles. We'll add that in there. And you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. And if you have those programs, let me know if you've got it. If you're, if you're having any kind of problems painting over the picture, or have a suggestion, let me know. Or you can even make a pose, and then we can color it. It'll be another draw this in your style for this month of June. Alright, you guys, I will see you in the next video, and we'll add shadows and hearts and all kinds of happy horse shit on there. Alright, have fun. I'm Kim Pinckney. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and suggest. Alright, have a great one, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And Tatted Hearts, thanks for joining. Bye bye.